Yo, what's going on, everybody? What's today? Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Hope everybody's having a good day today. It is a relatively decent day in the crypto market. We've got a little bit to talk about today. Looks like the worst is over for now. All right, and I'm emphasis on for now. And so we've got some time to play. And that's what I want to talk about today. Let me go ahead, read the comments, and then I'll go ahead and share my screen. So, Jonathan Johnson with the first. What's going on, man? Welcome back. Doge Noodle, what's up? Haha, number 4. Man, you were so close. Actually, you're 3. What's going on, though? It's another great day. Yes, Steve Harvey, welcome. Let's see. What's going on? Envu, Juan, how's it going? Yes, does look like the worst of it's over. Hey, Rick, welcome. Preezy, what's going on, man? All right. So, guys, let's roll right into this. I'll go ahead and start sharing the Bitcoin chart. I would like to get coffee that's not cold. So if you guys can give me, I don't know, 30 seconds, I will be right back. But I'll go ahead and share the chart here so you can see what's going on. And yeah, bear with me. Give me a couple seconds. Hey, what's up? I'm back. Thank you guys for your patience. Got some fresh coffee in the llama cup. And it is good. Don't forget, if you're new to the stream, click subscribe. Glad to have you. But let's roll. Let me see here. Cool. All right. So, let's see. A couple more comments. Plan B saying we'll hit 100K. 100K is on its way. Doge 2881. Doge is doing all right. All right. So, Uncle Rick. So, guys, a couple things I want to talk about. First of all, thank you to all of you. I haven't been talking about this for a while because I've been pretty focused on other things except for my business endeavors, right? But thank you. Just wanted to personally thank you all for the support on myhodleware.com, also known as hodleware.store, which is my merch store. Link is in the top of the description if you want to check it out. But a lot of you guys have bought something, and no, I don't make a ton of money off of it because don't forget, I do have to still pay for the actual item itself. So the shirts, I have to pay for the material, had to invest in the actual equipment. You see some of it over there, right? All that stuff was very expensive, and there's still more stuff I have to buy to do more stuff. So I have not hit positive yet. You know, I haven't almost break even, but not quite yet. But that's not the point. It's still, even though it was a bit of an investment, getting to a point where it's almost like a donation. And you guys also, and I think it's a more fun donation, instead of you just sending me a super chat or super sticker or something like that, you pay a couple bucks and you get, you know, I get a couple dollars from it and you get an item. And I think that's really cool. And plus it's been fun, just helping you guys out. I don't know, I enjoy doing it. I know this is not related to stocks, but I just wanted to take a moment before we start to thank you guys for the support there. This shirt also is a custom one that's not listed. If you want a polo like this or similar, let me know. I've got Chaz Mandu's order right here with his 4 polos, which just has the D, but a little smaller. I need to get those to him whenever he's available. And if you have any other shirt ideas that you like to see up on the store, let me know. I've got some better material, so I can do, instead of all text, I can kind of mess around with designs a little bit. So anyway, check it out if you haven't. And if you want to buy something, let me know. But thank you all for the support so far. It's been fun, and I think that's the best part of it so far, is just the Dogecoin community in general. When you get to interact with them in a way that lets you, I mean, it kind of benefits you both, and you both get to have a good time doing it, especially being that you can also pay in Dogecoin. That's fun. And then, you know, you get to buy the Doge, send it to someone else. They get to hold on to that Dogecoin and hopefully see it go up in value. So it's almost like a little win-win for everyone. It's just very fun altogether. So anyway, thanks guys. It's been a blast. Hopefully you guys will still enjoy this stuff on the store and find something else you like one day. Now, what I will say, thank you, Preezy. I appreciate that, man. Oh, hang on. Wife priority. All right, so no one. I accept. I got rid of the only crypto thing as payment. As great as that is, if you're a larger company and trying to prove a point, especially in this point in time where Dogecoin's a good investment, not everyone wants to spend the Doge they already have, and not everyone has money to just buy more Doge to spend. So I opened it up so you can pay however in the world you want, but Dogecoin is an option, and obviously it is. Oh, thank you, Sanu. Thank you. Obviously, Dogecoin is preferred. I think I would say Dogecoin preferred, but I really don't have a preference. But I think Dogecoin's the most fun. If you haven't made a Dogecoin purchase before, I would say consider giving it a try. But any method of payment, it doesn't matter, you know? Up to you. But I do take the Dogecoin payments natively, which means that when I get Dogecoin payments, I do not convert it back to fiat. I keep it as Doge, and I consider it as holding value, which I think is really the goal and how we should want other companies to do it. Not just take the Dogecoin as payment with the intent to immediately cash it out for cash, right, and swap it. But if they can assign and recognize the value of Dogecoin and have some Dogecoin on their balance sheet, just like Tesla has Bitcoin on their balance sheet, right? And they're not planning to convert it to USD. It's a good holding. So just like they have US dollars on their balance sheet as well. So that's the way. I'm just helping support what I preach. So anyway, there's that. Do I ship international? If Doge hits $1, I'll buy a shirt and wear it in front of Buckingham Palace from UK and post a pic. Hey, that would be awesome, man. That sounds really dope. I do ship international. I will say that with international shipping, they really get you anytime you start shipping overseas. So it is a bit expensive. So if you're going to place an order, I'd probably recommend getting kind of everything you want at once, so you don't have to pay that steep shipping entrance fee multiple times, because it is a bit steep. And I understand that it's a turnoff, but unfortunately I can't. Though I can pay a portion at least of the United States shipping. If I were to pay the international shipping, I would probably just be losing money altogether, which doesn't help anybody out. So that's where we're at. I would like to modify this a bit. Couple changes. All right. This is the To the Moon rocket. Got to make sure you get that right. Get it organized. It's a very important little display. So bear with me. All right. Sorry, I'm wasting time here. But anyway. And what's up, Skydive? What's going on, everybody? And thank you, Daniel, for hanging out. So let's get into it. I'll stop wasting your time and talking too much. So basically, guys, we're in a relatively decent spot. The fear is kind of over, all right? Emphasis on kind of. Now, the reason I say kind of is because it's not completely over. There are still some things that we need to consider here. But the worst, I think, the part that people were probably scared the most about is over. And that was just, what is the initial reaction going to be? And this is what I was the most concerned about. So maybe I'm speaking personally as well. What is the initial reaction going to be to the House of Representatives vote? So in case you don't know what I'm talking about, what's going on here in the crypto industry is the Senate, the House of Representatives, they're working on this bill, this infrastructure package bill. In the bill, they decided to, for some reason right now, throw in some crypto regulations that are supposed to help increase tax revenue and get some additional tax dollars from cryptocurrency trading. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. Of course, no one likes taxes, but it's part of life. Except in the wording, they made it so that if you were a miner, so basically if you're on proof of work and you're a miner, if you're on proof of stake and you're a validator, or if you do blockchain development of any sort, they are expecting you to provide, information so that you could 1099 someone. And as a miner, if I leave my computer in the background on Cardano and have it, proof of stake, being a validator, I don't have info to write up 1099s for everybody that I process. That's my computer doing all the work, and it's not even looking at people's personal data. That's not how the blockchain works. So because that's an impossible ask, it basically means you cannot mine or validate or develop apps in the United States without breaking the law, which means unless you want to potentially go to jail and have that fear hanging over your head, no matter what you believe is actually going to get enforced, you've got to jump ship or stop. And so that's a major problem primarily for Bitcoin, where mining, in my opinion, is the most important part of Bitcoin. And it's a lot of what people see value in. You've got the people that hold it. You've got the people that work to mine it and have invested a lot to be miners. If you cut out mining, a lot of businesses go down the drain, and I heard it would be billions of dollars worth of infrastructure. So it's a problem. And so because of that, the main concern has been, first of all, was the House going to amend the bill and change the verbiage, because apparently they didn't intend to screw over miners. It was just someone writing it out that didn't know what they were really saying, and they did not amend it. No changes were put in it, and it got passed as is to the House. Now, the House, it was their turn to take a look at it, and they voted to pass it again through the House as is with no amendment, and then to vote on the bill as is later. Now, there is still a chance, I guess, that it goes to a final vote, and the final vote gets declined, and then maybe they restart the process all over again. But let's just say for right now, the way it's looking, they said we're not going to amend it, move it to the next stage as is, and by October 1st, we're going to have a vote. If that's the case, I'm assuming the goal is to have the vote and to pass it by October 1st as is. So there is still that little bit of concern that's out there regarding what's going to happen, but now we have until basically October 1st or whenever they actually give a specific date to worry about that actually going live. Now, whether or not I think that the price is actually going to crash when it goes live or not is a different question, but I'm just talking about, I'm always first talking about like short-term sentiment. If it's good news, you can expect price to move up to some degree. If it's bad news at all, you can expect the price to move down to some degree. This information is bad news overall. So I would expect that to be a negative factor for the price. Now, do I think the price is going to crash because of it? Not anymore, not necessarily. Our first test here was this week, where we got to see when the announcement was made, how did the general public react? How did most of the crypto investors react? Now, we did see a pullback from all-time high and when I say that, I mean all-time highs from the crash the last 3 months. We did see a nice strong pullback, which was deserved anyway, from 50.5 all the way down. You see the steep cutoff of the uptrend, and you can just tell here that we did do something unconventional. We have to recognize that. We had a massive run curve here, a massive bounce here, and our third one was this little bounce that just died. All right, so obviously this was a different scenario. If it wasn't, you would have expected it to do a much bigger curve, just like the previous three did. So there was some fear factor in here that cut it short. All right, it cut our third lump short there, and it's also smaller than the last, two. But at the same time, we had made a steep run up, and it was about time to start curling anyway. So this was a well-timed pullback, all the way down from 50.5 down to 47 flat. Now, this bounce was very, very good because it basically hit off the support trend line. Wasn't perfect, but it was close enough to where people probably felt pretty decent doing a dip buy right there at 47. Unfortunately, I was really tired yesterday, and I was not talking too much to anybody at that time, so I didn't get to say as much as I maybe would have liked to say regarding that bounce point. It was really late when that happened. But we saw this nice red candle, a green confusion one here, but then a massive, overwhelmingly green bullish candle here to signify a reversal. Now, this kind of gets me to what do I think the potential is here for another dip, a pullback to here, a crash down to the 200 EMA. What do I think is going on here? Well, I think short term, I think the question really is, if we're going to put the infrastructure package and bill and regulations on the back burner for now, and we can say that that's probably for the next couple weeks at least not going to be a strong factor in the price direction. What do we think is going to happen? Well, now it falls back onto, in my opinion, catalysts. So what catalysts do we have on Bitcoin that will help sustain the price and prevent a break of this uptrend here, and will help it continue up? Now we're going back to our main catalyst, which is El Salvador legal currency, Tesla dropping the suspension. We've got Amazon rumor, which is what sparked this whole run up in the first place. And then just a couple of other things, smaller announcements coming from all over the place. A lot of celebrities now getting into Bitcoin, talking about it more actively. A lot of different places now natively accepting Bitcoin for payment. We have very good news for Bitcoin. And I will say, at the very least, regardless of what happens short term, this really sets Bitcoin up well to do that classic little launch pattern where you get this massive run up, this pullback, and then this like S shape almost, where it then like takes off, and continues up to 100K, 200K. This is a great little spring load right here. So long term, all of this right here is a dip, just to put it frankly. But we're usually not talking about that long term of trading. Even if you go up to the 4-hour time frame and the daily, you can see nice bounce, nice bounce, nice bounce, and we're getting this nice bounce here. There's probably some more room here if this is going to do a small bounce and do another one. But like I said, my only concern, I don't like that this bounce was super small. It's almost like it was running out of steam, and we could be at potential pullback territory to where it's like, all right, 50, 51, we're going to need a little more juice to get us to the next level. That's the vibe I'm kind of getting here. But I would say, concerned around the regulation bill, we saw a flush out down to 47. That was my first price target, my first main price target for where the dip would go. I did say pretty much every $1,000 under that down to like 42. There was a key level, so for like 47, 45, 44, and then 42 and a half. But it just stopped at the 47, and it held, and now we're bouncing. So that's good, and I think that's a good sign for how people feel. Why didn't Bitcoin crash harder than that off this bad news? Well, there's a couple reasons for that. There has been plenty of talk outside of the actual Senate sessions and House sessions, and it's become well known to most people that the ones that created this regulation, that put it together, they didn't actually intend to really mess up miners and validators. That's the rumor, at least, that's going around. Their intention was not to do that. It was just to get the motion going of regulating and letting people in crypto know, like, it will be regulated and it's in the works. Like, this was just step A. It was not intended to destroy it. And that does make sense when you consider, like, how are you going to get 39 billion or 29, I don't remember, $1 billion worth of tax revenue off something that you're crippling? It kind of is counterintuitive. So it all makes sense. When you just consider that, that can make you a little more bullish long term. So longer term investors that bought here, maybe even here, probably weren't really too concerned about selling at that time. Also, we also know that there's some other articles that came out kind of saying that, and what Preezy also just said, I read this as well, that they don't really have plans, even if it does pass as is, to like enforce it. So being that they didn't mean it that way, they also are saying that they don't have plans to enforce it as is if it does pass. So it probably won't get enforced as is, and then it'll probably get amended later, and everybody will go about their business. That does not mean it's not a bearish event, but it is not necessarily going to cause a market crash if no one's panicked, because panic is what causes a crash. If no one's panicked, there's no crash. So hope that makes sense. And so I will say, just overall, we're still trending up. We're still doing good. Bitcoin is still looking nice. We've had a strong run up, though, and I would say that we're getting, like I said, we are getting due for a pullback here. We ran out of steam a bit on this last bump. Maybe we have one more in us up to like 51 or maybe 52. That's probably when we start to see some kind of retracement back to a support line, if even that long. Maybe it's right here. Maybe we see a pullback here. Potential spots for that pullback, 48K, 47 again, and a healthier pullback would be to get towards wherever the 200 EMA sits at, or at least close to it, so that we get that touch. We haven't gotten it since we took off, by the way. That's usually unhealthy. You never really want to sit above the 200 EMA for that long. Usually that means you're due for a pullback. Take a look at this, for example. This was the bull run from like $15,000 Bitcoin all the way up to 65. Yes, there were periods of time where it took off like a rocket, but you always see the healthy retracement back to the 200 EMA average, and then people, spring load, double bottom, they buy the dip, take off again like a rocket, pull back to the 200 EMA, spring load, take off again, pull back, take off again, pull back, take off again, pull back. Right here, we see, and I'll just delete these so you can see it pretty clearly. And though this is a bullish time, right, because we're breaking out from the bottom, you see we took off, almost pulled back, didn't quite get a healthy touch, and now we're just going. We're bouncing off nothing here. We are due for a 200 EMA touch. So I think it's coming soon. I do think it's coming soon, and we'll just have to see. I'm not saying it's going to be a massive pullback, but 200 EMA by that time will probably be about 44 to 45K. That's probably a pretty safe area to load up, unless you think it's going to go into a downtrend. So that's the quick summary, and obviously just latch or attach Dogecoin, ADA, and XRP, and all that good stuff, all the main altcoins, throw in Ethereum, throw it on the same price target trajectory, because they all follow Bitcoin. So it's really the same concept if you just map out the levels. yeah, I will definitely now go ahead and kind of read the comments and entertain your questions, but we're getting there. I think once we get comfortable above 50K, Dogecoin will then start its next moves up towards 35 and then to 40. And then by that time, we're at 55, probably coming towards 60K Bitcoin, and we're back to about where we started on Doge, pretty comfortably 45, 50 cents until we get some more hype. So we're almost at market recovery, guys. We're not that far away. We've only got about 40% of gains left, so make sure you're playing it smart and not missing the whole move up, because we've had months to really get this right. But we'll see how it goes, and yeah, that should be about it. Some comments here. There was a report that came out said they wouldn't enforce that on miners. Yeah, I did read that. Could you escape taxes by crypto? No, you cannot. You still do get taxed, but there are some certain ways where you can do tax evasion. Obviously not recommended unless you like jail, but they are cracking down on loopholes. And that's by making any kind of brokerage that's United States based have to report back to them. Anybody that can get that information. Am I holding any positions yet or still out? So here's the thing, guys. Early this morning, I woke up, like, I'm talking like middle of the night. I woke up, I'm looking at the price action. Don't ask me why. I saw the dip, and I'm really, really mad that I did this. Like, actually very genuinely upset. And I almost don't even want to talk about it. But I woke up, and this is why trading from your phone and when you're tired is not a great idea. Definitely try and get yourself in front of a chart if you're going to make an important decision. I woke up on this pullback here. All right, this was pretty early in the morning. I woke up, I saw kind of this portion happening here, and I saw it stall out at 47,000 on Bitcoin. I was looking at volatility across the coins. ADA actually was falling the hardest, and I guess that's because it went up the most, right? That's because it went up the most, so it had the farthest to crash. Dogecoin was kind of just hanging out. So what I ended up doing once I saw it stalling out and really not wanting to fall, I went ahead and went long on ADA about here, somewhere about here. This was at somewhere around 260, 265 on ADA. All right, and so I held that position, went back, and I like fell asleep. And then I woke up at some point, and I think I saw the price pull back pretty hard on ADA, and it looked like it was failing. I don't remember if it was right here or right here. And anyway, it got me thinking. I'm like, and I'm half asleep, by the way, looking at my phone, and I'm like, oh, we're crashing. Let me just close this while I'm still in profit. And so I half sleep exited my position without looking at really the chart, doing TA, actually taking a look at what was going on. I think I saw this right here, and I'm like, oh no, I'm up like $40. Let me just cut and go back to sleep. And though I probably shouldn't have even been asleep. And yeah, then I woke up to ADA being about 15 cents higher, because I sold like an idiot for absolutely no reason. But I was half asleep, and I forgot what my trade plan was, and I just was not paying attention. So very, very mad, because I wanted to make that my long position too, and I like sleep panicked sold. I don't even understand what I did, but there's your advice. Never do that, because then you'll do a dumb thing like I did there. So then I was very mad to see it go up, like I said, 15 cents, where I could have made a lot of profit there, or at least had a good long position. Because buying it, the chance, it's going to take a lot for Bitcoin to get back down to 47 at this point. And if it does, that's probably going to be a deeper pullback. But I could have just played that as it came and held it at least to see if it went to 49.50 or something or beyond, and had a great entrance. So I'm just mad. But anyway, that's that. And yeah, I learned my lesson this morning. But so because of that, no, I have no position, because I did not buy back in yet. But now I just have to wait, because yes, I did feel the need once I woke up and saw this and this. I'm like, maybe I just buy back in. That is FOMO. You do not want to buy in here or here when you see it taking off like a rocket and being like, well, maybe I should just jump in now. It's usually when it's about time to reverse. Once you start getting that, once it's doing so crazily well that you start feeling emotional about it, that you're like, man, like you get that feeling in your stomach and you're just like, I need in. It's probably about to dump. So yeah, did not buy, and sure enough, by the time I would have FOMO bought in, it was at the top. So I was very glad I didn't trade like an idiot there. But yeah, learned my lesson. Not a good morning for me. Not in though, but it's fine. There's gonna be the real good takeoff, and probably still another pullback or two before an actual takeoff well beyond where we are now. That time isn't quite yet, I don't think. So I've still got time to make an entry. It just would have been I just missed another opportunity. Bullish short-term speaking. Could you escape taxes by crypto? Tax avoidance, not tax evasion. Big difference. You can. Yeah, I won't get into that too much, but there are some ways. Yeah, hopefully I'll be in soon. Whoa, what is that logo, dude? Oh, is that? How'd you get that emoji? That's cool. How much of a dark horse is XRP? It is a very dark horse that I am not a fan of. It probably does have a future, but short term, it's not one that I'm willing to invest in. Hey, what's up, Snakist? I think we touched 50 and dump. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think we double top at 50. And then we have the healthy pullback and then a continuation later. What's up, Hex, man? How's it going? You left a like. Appreciate that. And yeah, guys, we've got like 30 people. If you haven't clicked like, please consider doing that quick little action. It helps the stream out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm, helping the stream get noticed. So thank you. But Bitcoin's doing nice. It's up about a 1.5%. ADA's probably, I don't even want to know. Okay, it's not doing that good. ADA's only at 273. The bull run did pause. Another reason I didn't want to YOLO buy in at the top here was because I know that $3 is the short-term price target. If I FOMO bought in at 280, there's a couple things against me already. One, we're up really high. Two, we're only 20 cents away from the mental stop resistance level. And so, best case scenario, I'd only be making 10% before there's a pullback anyway. So why would I risk buying at the top with only potential for 10% gain long term, longish, like midterm? So I just figured I'd wait. Honest opinion on Hex, a lot of people calling it a scam. Can I open up ICP internet computer chart? Ugh, I do not like internet computer, but yes. Jason, what's up, man? Thoughts on Hex? I forgot what Hex does, so I'm gonna have to look that up again. Hang on. I like that your logo's Hex too. That's pretty cool. Oh. It doesn't sound like a scam to me. It just sounds like another store of value coin. It's not really a type of coin I invest in, but from what I just read, I don't see a problem with the concept. It's not something that I'd probably go like running to like, oh man, I need to invest in that. But I mean, it's up 18x from where it just was in April. So it's doing fine. I don't see a problem with it. Internet computer. Yeah, let me go to trading view. Oh yeah, you did, Jonathan. I didn't get to read that article yet, but I'm going to do that so I can read a little more about it. Internet computer charts. It's doing fine. It's about doing what Bitcoin's kind of doing here. It had a run up, a pullback, and now it's trying to move back up. Weird pattern overall though, with the high pullback, lower high pullback. It's making lower highs. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that and see what it does. Looks like there's pretty decent support at 56. but there's a high here of 78. Massive sell-off. Well, I guess this was due to the crypto. No, I mean, oh yeah, due to the crypto crash. It came from really high up. Jeez. That's concerning. What in the world? It started off at someone's holding a major bag. $3,000 per coin all the way down to 40. Sheesh. That'll make you cry. But internet computer is just not an investment for me. I think the chart's fine. If you believe in it, then it's probably more of an investment play for you anyway. But I just don't like the way they're going about their process. Yeah, no problem, Hex. What I'll do is I'll watch that thing that Jonathan sent to me, that article. I'll take a look at it, and hopefully tomorrow I'll have a better idea of Hex. Have I heard of Farm? Yes. About a year ago it was 2.2. Now it's around only around 230. And 30 days ago was only 86. Do these numbers show potential? It's on Coinbase. That's a good question. Let me take a look. Do you think we have to drop below 42 to follow the line? No. Hang on. What's up, Evan? Big gains? Yeah, for sure. So, if you're talking about this line here, Dorota, this blue line, dropping below 42K is absolutely what we do not want. So I'd say if we're going to continue this uptrend strong, guys, the last thing we are ever going to want to do is fall under $43,000. So let's make that our let's hope that never happens goal, unless you are still desperate for a dip and a potential crypto crash part 2. Falling under this line now, remember when we were down here and we had the line that I'd always draw as the bullish side and the bearish side of the crypto trading, and that line was typically right around 35 to 36,000. See how that seems long ago now, and we were literally just there. It's kind of funny. But I had the line drawn right about here. It was my white line, and this was like the bearish side that we were trading under, and this was the bullish side. Now we're in a different section. We're at the above 42,000 section, the bullish uptrend continuation section. So now this line here at about 43 becomes that. If we fall back into previous territory, people are going to think that there's potential for us to continue to fall lower. Their mindset will flip bearish. If we're under 42.5, people are going to be thinking, well, we broke support, the key level support. Now there's a chance we go 40 or 39. And if we're in 30s, what if we go down lower 30s? And then what if we go back down to 29? Like, it's just you don't want to be down there. So if we want an uptrend, we need to stay above 43,000 and not go below it, even no matter what the pullback is in that area. Solana, is that a good buy point? Yeah, I heard about Solana potentially being a good one. Let me go back to your question in just a moment, James. The red line. Oh, okay. So you're talking about the 200 EMA line. So that price isn't quite at 42,000. I think we do need to have a healthy pullback to the 200 EMA line, but currently that line is in an uptrend trying to catch up to us, which means it's not going to go straight down. And it's at about 43, almost 44,000 right now. By the time it caught up to us, because you have to consider the time for the pullback to play out, and then the time factored in while this line continues to catch up to that price. It's probably going to meet somewhere in between 45 and 46,000. And that will probably be where the pullback price target's going to be. 45 would be perfect, like right about above 45. Everyone loves that number, the midway point to 50. That would be a great dip buy for everyone to get. It's not too low to where people start getting bearish feelings, like 44, 43, concerningly low. And that would be just a great load up spot. 45, 45 and a half, or even 46. 47 is a little high. So that's all the pullback we need. When is it going to happen exactly? Not sure. Could happen on this bounce here if it fails. If it fails and goes back under 48, that could be a sign that we're coming down to the 200 EMA. So that's what I'd look out for. A fall under 48,000 is pretty concerning. 48 flat. Now going back to James, about a year ago it was 2.2. Now it's only 230. 30 days ago it was 86. So if only a month ago it was 86 and now it's 230, that's pretty good. That's about 3x. So it's done well. I will say though, that's pretty standard if I'm just going off of what you told me, not knowing anything about the actual thing. Because I assume it's a finance related decentralized app. That's exactly what Plan B said. Cool. All right, good. Then there's probably some validity to that if multiple people are thinking it. The thing is, Dogecoin was at like 16 cents, and now Dogecoin is up to like 30 something. Ethereum was down to under 2,000. It was in the 1,000s, and now it's up to 3,000. Like a lot of these coins have also almost 3x, just like Farm has also almost 3x in the last 3 months. So it could just be Farm, a little bit of doing well on its own and making progress, but also following the market trend up. So that to me doesn't sound crazy. It's kind of standard, but it is a very solid gain considering it's 3xing just like the top 10 market cap guys, the big guys were. So yes, I would say those numbers show potential. It's moving well. And it's all Plan M. I like that. And it's always a good thing to have a high that you need to get back to. What that does is when you're making new highs, you're pushing the ceiling up. You're creating the ceiling. No one knows when that's going to be, and a lot of times you have panic because no one has a target in mind. They're just like, oh, how high will we go, and when do I need to smash my sell button? But for example, on Dogecoin or on Bitcoin, we've had a high before of 64,000. That means we're not going to necessarily think as the price goes up here in this bull run that we're in any incredibly high territory because we've got room back to 65. We've already been there. Why couldn't we get there again? There's no concerns in us being at the absolute top. That kind of concept. Obviously, we know Bitcoin's going to keep going, but for other cryptos, when you have a price target that you've already hit, Dogecoin 74, Ethereum 4380, I forgot the number, 4360, no, 4385, 4384. I need to know. I need to refresh my memory. 4383. I was $1 off. Those are price targets that people know we've hit before, and so they feel comfortable thinking we can get back to it because it only makes sense. But then once you start getting into all-time high territory, you're in new territory. So it's like, and everything's the top now. But this, if you go to the weekly chart, really nice series of green candles here. Might have a red pullback candle here, like I said. Right to this, right here is about 45. If you're looking this area, maybe a rejection wick right under, and then with the majority of the candle being somewhere on 45-ish, and then a continuation. That would be absolutely textbook perfect. And if that can happen, pretty much everyone will see that, because no matter what time frame I'm on here, it kind of is pointing to the same idea. And so that would really get everyone on board to buy it up, which means we'll probably have a rocket launch after. Okay, ambulance. Fire truck. I don't know what it is. Any other questions, guys? Sorry, I'm getting a work email here, so I'm kind of responding at the same time. Where do I think Cardano will end up when it's finally come into its own? That's a great question. Oh no, Josh's name isn't green. Where do I think Cardano will end when it's finally coming to its own? That's a good question. So short term, I think a very reasonable price target's $4. Where Cardano's at that point where price targets are in dollar increments. Like I said, like I always say, your price targets are kind of scaled to what your price is. Dogecoin, people are thinking in like 10 cent areas, like groups, you know, cent moves. Once you get into the dollars, people are starting to think bigger, more exponentially large. So now Cardano, it's like $3, then like $3.50, and then $4, and then maybe, you know, and maybe even beyond $3 go straight to $5. And then after 5 you start thinking 10, then after 10 you start thinking 20, 25. Like it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I think Cardano is going to really take off a bit. Now obviously you need to keep in mind market cap, but there's a lot of very, very, very bullish people that think Cardano could just overtake Ethereum and make a run for it, which, to be honest, as long as they get good smart contracts being built, as long as they get good smart contracts being built out for the platform, and it really gives Ethereum competition, Cardano, you know, it's going to be in a position where it's better, arguably just better than Ethereum until Ethereum gets ETH2. Because Ethereum right now is just absolutely terrible for the average person. It is way overloaded and extremely expensive to use. And I don't even use DeFi apps on the Cardano network at all until it is like midnight or later now, because the mining fees during the day are absurd. They went from like $30 to like $70 to like $100, and now they're averaging during the day $200+ to execute a transaction. That's what you have to pay the miner to do something. That doesn't make any sense. And so, in my opinion, Ethereum right now is just unusable. Now, I know the concept was pay to play. If you really want to get something done, you pay your fee. When it's really busy, the transaction fee gets higher, and that deters people from using the network while also keeping the miners getting paid a good amount. And so the network fee entrance is what will keep traffic managed. But to me, that just doesn't make any sense, because you shouldn't punish people from using your product. And I get the concept there, but the idea is just no one wants to pay $200. Like, I understand the concept in itself isn't even that bad, but it is just straight punishment to be charging $100 to $200 to execute a transaction. That if that fee was like $1 and it went up to 10 or 15 when the network's busy, okay. But it is $200 to do something now. It is Cardano's time to shine, and ETH2 is Ethereum's only saving grace, or Cardano's really gonna take a massive chunk out of Ethereum's market share. For a beginner that's trying to accumulate more coins or tokens by using only one investment, what would I recommend? Cardano. It's just got to be Cardano. I mean, I used to say Ethereum, but Ethereum's getting absurd, so it would have to be ADA. It's got to be the most stable one with the highest potential right now. So if you're talking low risk to reward with still having a lot of volatility and high potential, it's got to be ADA. I don't see any other better option. What do I think about ACH? ACH is a great buy under 10 cents. I don't like buying ACH under over 10 right now. That's only because I did, and I saw the drop down to 8. I got out. I saw the drop down to 6, and I knew from 6 that was support, and it bounced back up to 14, which was great. I didn't ride that up, though that would have been cool. I was too distracted by other things, but ACH is a good play. I would much rather get in at a dip and hold it long, because it's just a little all over the place. Still, AMP is a more stable investment if you want to invest in a coin like that. It's a little more predictable, though it may not get you all the volatile gains that you would love all the time. You also lose less money, I think. But I mean, ADA easily $3 to $5 very short term. Or I'll say, you thought you were alone? Yeah, I am glad to be here on the ADA train. So Yeah, ADA short term $3 easily, $4 pretty easily as well. 5 will probably be a pretty decent price target. But after smart contracts go live, expect the price to just continue to steamroll as better and better apps, NFTs, and all that stuff end up going live on the Cardano network, and then heading towards the $10 mark to really give Ethereum a run. So I would love to get into Cardano near 250. That's why I'm mad I sold my position earlier. But if we can get another good Bitcoin dip, I will probably just go long on Cardano and call it a day. And then I'll have, my Doge account too. But as much as I love my Dogecoin, guys, at the end of the day, this is a trading channel. It is not only Dogecoin related. And there are times where Dogecoin is asleep until the next catalyst, and I like to be elsewhere. And this is one of those times. AMP has my attention. What's up with Tezos growing like a weed while all the others suffer? I don't know. I actually don't know about that. I'd have to look that one up. There's probably a reason. TLM major jump today. In case you guys didn't notice, I did not. Freeze, you had a question? Oh. What do I think ADA can hit since Solana started the year at $1 and currently 70 after being 30 during the fall? That's a good question. I like to just go back to market cap, because even if it technically is anything is possible, people look at market cap as in the same way they look at support and resistance, as a mental indicator of what they believe something could potentially be worth. If I'm looking for Solano here, and I know I blew past it, Solano, though that happened, it's only worth because of the circulating supply. Yeah, it exponentially increased in value, but it's still only worth 20 billion, being a network that it is, where Cardano is already 4 times ahead of it in price. So Cardano's already had its run up. If I were to look at the all-time, Cardano was 4 cents. Well, yeah, it was like 5 to 10 cents in 2020. Going into 2021, let's just say right in January, Cardano was about the price of a Dogecoin right now. And now Cardano has already, from this point here, Cardano in January has 10x'd already. And Solano has 4x'd. So you're saying Solano 4x'd, you said it started the year at 1 and it's currently 70. So yeah, that's 70x. That's still insane. But I mean, anything's possible, but that market cap on Cardano would break what people think is normal. So that's why, as great as that would be, it makes me wonder how likely is that to actually happen versus people getting really excited. Now I know that I'm picturing his face. What's his name? Hodgkinson. Is that how you pronounce it? The guy that created this was saying that he thinks it could hit 30 by the end of the year. And maybe that will give people enough motivation. Hearing the creator say it, he's giving it a price target. And maybe that'll make people think it's possible to just blow through market caps like that. But at that point, we're 10xing from here. That puts it at basically Bitcoin's current valuation as a whole. Because we're at 87 billion, that would put us at 870. We'd be about 3 times the value, 2 to 3 times the value of Ethereum. Now, at the same time, if we're gonna look that far out and say by the end of the year, it's probably better to look at what Bitcoin will probably be by the end of the year, which let's just say 75,000 is where Bitcoin ends. It falls short of its target, it's 75-80K. Bitcoin's still going to be at around like 1.5 trillion, and Ethereum by that point should be somewhere, I'd say, near 6,000 ETH, 6,000 per ETH or something, which would put Ethereum's market cap somewhere around 700 billion. So Cardano would still be ahead of that if it hit $30. Which and I'm not saying that Cardano doesn't deserve to be ahead of Ethereum if it can really get the DeFi apps going, but the value, I think, is partially in the DeFi apps that Ethereum already has. And to match that value I think Cardano passing Ethereum would mean Cardano is better as a network, and then it's also matched in DeFi app like features and usability, and having that wealth of apps, and that is what would make it more valuable than Ethereum, as well as use, of course. So it needs the apps to be built out pretty quick. So I don't know if I think that's very possible, but I think Cardano to like $10 is probably that's still 5x, and I think that's very possible. Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see Cardano near $10, $11 or something coming into November, December, and continuing. That's just my opinion, but it could really vary. What is 8% on yields good yearly? It is. If you want to just stake, you got a good amount of money, and you'd rather get a more it's kind of the same thing as like a savings account, you know? You have some options. You can either try and be a day trader or just a trader in general and try and make 8% per week or make 8% per day or per month, depending on your trading style. Or you can just let it sit and safely make 8% per year. I don't think there's any problem with either. If you are dealing with more capital, 8% per year is going to be a nice, better payoff for you. If you're dealing with less, you might want to try trading if you can get good at it, and you'll be making that same percentage gain way more frequently. That's the way I think about it. If I was a millionaire or a multi-millionaire, I'd probably just stake, and 8% gains is going to be massive for me. $100,000 just free or something like that, a couple $100,000. But having $1,000 and 8% per year, you're going to get, what is that? $80. So it's not going to feel that great. I'm sorry, 800. It'll be okay, but it's not going to change your life. Won't pay your taxes or anything like that. Alts are supposed to run longer than Bitcoin during this last part of the run altcoin season. Hey, it really could. It could. I'm trying to give price targets that I also believe in. I'm not saying it's impossible for ADA to hit 20 or 30, but if I were to give my price target based off the way I usually analyze and what I personally believe, probably be about $10. Which is still basically 10x from where you invested in. It would be 5x or 4 to 5x from most people here. And that's honestly still more potential than Dogecoin has right now, in my opinion. So that's massive. And it could do a little more. It could be like 15. I just don't know about the 20 to 30. But if it does, that'll be a great surprise, in my opinion. Why is it taboo to think that another crypto can have a bigger market cap than Bitcoin? Take YiFi coin, for example. A large portion of it is first movers advantage and institutional backing. And this is what we kind of talked about yesterday. The reason Bitcoin is such a big dog is because of, and the market leader, like without being contested, is for a multitude of reasons. One of them is because Bitcoin got here first by far, and it's the one that really took off first, and everyone looks to Bitcoin as like crypto. If you ask anybody on the street, like, what is crypto? Probably Bitcoin will be, if they know anything about technology. Maybe crypto or Bitcoin's the only one that the average person would know about, and maybe that also has begun to change, and people for meme value also know about Dogecoin. But Bitcoin is the face of crypto. It just is right now. That's just the way it is, and that's the way it has been. When people think crypto, the big one, the one they can trust, they're thinking Bitcoin. Bitcoin is also a store of value and is worth a lot. So all eyes on Bitcoin for the fact that it's worth at any given point tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands, which is coming soon, of dollars per. It's a very valuable coin. So that also gets people's attention and makes them think it's the big one, even if it was lower market cap. And then on top of that, the way it's set up, we know that Bitcoin, if you look at price target trajectory, if you go on to websites that map out the flow of how Bitcoin is supposed to fluctuate in price. Other cryptocurrencies, they go up in price when they get catalysts, when they get adoption, but there's nothing in their code except for maybe being a little bit deflationary, just a little bit, that is supposed to inherently make the value of holding one go up over time. With Bitcoin, its whole purpose is to be a deflationary store of value that is similar in the way that it's collected and held and limited in supply to digital gold. Very well thought out, very specific and deliberate, and everyone is very aware and in agreement with what the price targets are and strongly believe it's going to hit them. So we know that that's 100K-ish by the end of the year or somewhere around there, and we know within the next couple years it's around 500K, so on and so forth. At that rate of growth, with a market cap already at 1 trillion and 3 times second place, and the rest are not even remotely close, that means these guys have so much work to do to catch up, and for their valuations to catch up with Bitcoin still running at that high rate of speed, that it's just going to be very difficult. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you've got basically this race car that's already in first place with the lead, and all these guys are trying to get faster and faster and better so that they can, at best, play catch up and then hope to be better as far as the speed of growth is to keep up with Bitcoin. So it's just difficult. I'm not saying it's impossible. But at the end of the day, people's idea of what is valuable could change, and for that reason, people might start to say, all right, well, Bitcoin is just Bitcoin, and Ethereum, Cardano are the absolute future. So these guys, we're going to start thinking that these are worth way more overall as a project than Bitcoin. And I do see a day where these guys, maybe Bitcoin doesn't stop in its increase in speed, but these guys start ending up moving faster. And so that will probably happen. When? I don't know. Maybe next year. But, yeah, because at the end of the day, like I said, Bitcoin is a store of value. These guys actually provide the network for all the rest of these coins. You know, the Ethereum, Cardano, Solano, etc. Solana. Those are the real things that make cryptocurrency run. So there will probably be a shift. I think we could see a Cardano, Ethereum, Dogecoin, Bitcoin world, or a Cardano, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and I guess an XRP, and then some of these guys down like in the top 20 moving up. But networks, in my opinion, should be the next big thing. We'll see, though. Again, these are guesses. I am not a crypto... I don't know what you would call it, but I'm relatively new into the crypto space, you know, coming in really this year, but I've just learned a lot. I've been staring at charts and doing research for like every single day I don't want to talk about how long. So I've learned a lot and just been analyzing trends and stuff. Any other questions, guys, before we wrap up? It's been a pretty good stream. 2233. Daniel, let's see. Oh, did I manage to catch R. Nichols' stream tonight talking about the update on Twitch? Unfortunately, you missed it. No, actually, I did not. I didn't. I've been trying to watch some of his streams, but I didn't catch the most recent one. I'll try and catch his tomorrow, or go back and watch. See if I missed anything important. Yeah, no problem. Thoughts on pre-IPO, asking for a friend. I've never done anything with like pre-IPOs. I wish I could give you a good answer there, but I've never really messed around with those. I've seen it go either way. If you're right, you can be in really good, but there was another, what was it? Was it Coinbase IPO? someone, meet Kevin, did a lot of money into one of these exchanges IPO, and the price like dumped afterward, like as soon as it went public, and he was very upset. Like he bought in like $300 per, and then it dumped to like 100 something or 200. So I just typically, I'm not like an IPO. That's more of an investor strategy. Plus I think they lock you out or penalize you for trading it too soon, something like that. Yeah, I don't do like that kind of thing. I look at cryptos that are already out, and I just try and find which ones look like they're going to be money makers and keep it simple. That's something that I try and have really learned to try and focus on. Is pick a like route that you want to travel on, or like a direction you want to travel in, and it could be a very focused direction. It doesn't have to be a whole lot of different things. Like right now, I am specifically focused on crypto. I don't really trade the stock market anymore, even though that's where I came from. I've decided I enjoy trading crypto more. There's more predictable volatility, and there's just more in general. And it's easier to find, which means there's more money to make easily. There's a little less manipulation, which is good if you don't like getting screwed over all the time by things that just come out of nowhere. And a whale, 15 whales at one time decide to sell at a random moment, and now you're like, ugh, you know? So it's a little less stressful, and because it's new to pretty much everybody, I feel like I'm more experienced in the crypto space because everybody's kind of new to it. And so compared to the stock market that has like fundamentals and reading balance sheets and all these other going into like financial stuff that I don't even understand half the terminology, and have to study each thing and try and figure it out. And then you have to do fundamental analysis and technical analysis, and then consider all these different things, FDA approvals, earnings reports. It gets really annoyingly complicated. But in crypto, you can kind of keep it simple. It takes less time, and in my opinion, there's more money to make. So I've focused my lane on crypto for that reason. And then I've decided in the crypto space that I want to trade a few specific types of cryptocurrencies, and I've already made the decision on what I want those to be. And I've also decided that if I do venture out into other things, like what I even want my exposure to be in the more meme investments that have potential to 1,000x or to go to zero, you know, so things like a baby Doge or whatever that are just here to be here for fun and pumping, you know, maybe I'll do $100 in there, or $1,000 in one, or a couple spread across a couple max, and $1,000 is my play money. But then my 10,000, 20,000, whatever amount of money I or you have, you know, my main accounts are focused on that. And then those are just, you know, maybe one day, but if it goes to zero, I understood what my risk was, and it was my fault, and it is what it is. Nice, very well said. I've discovered similar things, recently changed my name along with my focus. Nice. I like that. Thanks for your today's stream. It was very insightful. As always, thank you for your time. It was a great experience. You're one of the best. Thank you, Josh. I really appreciate that, man. Cool. Any updates on XRP since it doesn't move at all? I have not. Like I said, I don't invest in XRP. I'm not a fan of it. So generally, XRP news is not something that I have, unfortunately. That's another thing. Because of my focus, I generally focus most of my studying attention on the cryptos that I actually know I want to mess with. And like I said before, to stay focused, I have a filter on like what kind of things do I want to trade. Typically, they're store value coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, well, not Ethereum, Dogecoin, you know, the retail coins, retail solution coins. So you've got AMP, ACH, Networks, ETH, Cardano, and these are mostly just the kind of like the top 10 as well, conveniently. And those kind of concepts even lower down. But my filters are things that are going through lawsuits and such, and that people still aren't catching on to. I filter those out. Meme coins, I filter those out. Coins that are retail focused but don't seem like they're going to have any community support, I filter those out. And you know, there's a lot that I filter out so I can stay focused. On farm, yeah, I'll take a look at farm. Is the house meeting still on for Friday? Yes, but it doesn't look like they'll be discussing the crypto regulation on Friday. So they're just going to their normal sessions, but it does not look like it will be related to us. So I probably won't be watching that one. And Rick, I'll get to your Doge bottom question. I think I skipped it in 1 second. On farm, wow. All right, so let's say it started, way up here, but it came from 398 and now it's at 234. Strong support looks like it's right in this area, right at that 200 EMA line. If you get to the top side of that 200 EMA line, it looks like it's holding. That's probably the only time I would go long and buy in. There is a double bottom here, which is good at 220, which is why you then saw this reversal. But off this move right here, you want to see this curl back up, break above that 200 EMA, hold on the top side of it, and look for an entry there. And that will be right at this key level of support. There's a touch there, a lot of touches here, and the resistance, there, which will then flip to support when you're on the top side. So you'll have that extra support there. That looks like the ideal buy at about 240 if it holds above 240. Next spot, with resistance at about 255, 260-ish. Yeah. But overall, it doesn't look bad. You just got to hope that this doesn't bounce off the 200 EMA and then tank. All right, if it gets to the top side and looks like it wants to do an uptrend, then that's an entry at 240-ish, 241. You want to get on that Discord? Crypto thing is passing house 100. Everybody better get ready for that. Yeah, absolutely. XRP has just been too much controversy. I don't like messing with that kind of stuff. Like, there's already too many cryptocurrencies to look into. What I've said before was I thought XRP was good because of the technicals. But for a retail-focused, like transaction-based coin, it's not providing network services. It's not doing anything crazy. It is just for exchanging money across hands. There's there's a couple more popular coins, Dogecoin and Bitcoin being what I'm really talking about, for that purpose. And even though XRP might have some specifications that make it a little better for that in certain regards, I think community and like people adopting the idea of taking it as payment is really what makes me want to invest in a particular project. Bitcoin has that, Dogecoin has that. XRP, I don't hear people like, the XRP community isn't quite there for me in that space. And that's just my opinion. Others probably complete opposite, but like I said, I have to develop my own thoughts and ideas on why I want to invest in something or not, or else I'll be researching every coin of like the 30,000 that are out there and probably get nowhere. So that's just my filter. I'm not doing anything quite yet with Dogecoin. Yeah, Dogecoin barely moved down and then it barely moved up. I was considering it yesterday. My play now is probably going to be, I'm looking at ADA. As long as Dogecoin's not moving, Cardano ADA I think has short-term volatility potential, which is what I'm looking at. A 20-cent move on ADA is a 10% gain, basically. A little more than 20, like 25 cents. Close enough. But, yeah, Dogecoin is a little asleep right now. I think when Bitcoin breaks above 50,000 and holds there, because the thing right now I think is Bitcoin might do a double top come Friday, which means it already hit 50,000 once. Might do a pullback, work its way up by Friday, hit again around that same level, and then start a downtrend towards the 200 EMA line, wherever that sits, probably between 45 and 46 by that time. I think that's what's going to happen, just a guess, but it's more of a hunch. Until we get comfortable above 50 and look like we're actually going to keep going up, I think Doge will sit at 30 before it heads to 35, 40. And I think that's why it's stalling out a bit, but we'll see. To Rick's question, Doge bottom prediction, probably not much lower than 25 cents. I'd say 24 at the absolute lowest, unless Bitcoin does some crazy crash. I think Doge 25 is probably the deal of the century if it happens again, and 26 might be all we get, if I were to guess. Yeah, just broke 49. We are making that move up to 50 here. That means ADA's probably near 280, which makes me even more annoyed. Did it really make another run to 290 just now? Wow. Yeah, I'm really mad. Oh wait, oh no. Whoops. 4-hour time frame, guys. Oh. Cardano's in a mood. All right. Selling off some hype, it looks like. Maybe I will get that pullback. Cool. Whereas Bitcoin's chilling at 49. Look at the difference. Dogecoin's actually doing fine. 29.30. It was at 28 earlier, but and 27 even. But Cardano's the one selling off. How ironic. Crypto thing is, yeah, the thing with the crypto thing, it has till October 1st. So there's a lot of time in between now and then for the price action to move around a lot. You know, Bitcoin to 45, Bitcoin to 55. There's a lot of time. And on top of that, it's pretty apparent now after the reaction to the vote that Bitcoin isn't necessarily just going to crash, because people are pretty convinced that it's going to get amended after it gets passed. And also there's been statements being made that it's not even going to get strictly enforced once it gets passed, primarily because it was improper verbiage anyway, and so they don't want to enforce it, and it would also screw up their tax plan. So it's a bearish event nonetheless, but that I do think people are still bullish overall, knowing that it probably won't kill them due to all the news out there so far. So I think we'll be okay to a neutral to bullish state with some hesitancy, I'll say, for the next little period of time. If you want in the Discord group, you just got to click the join button on the channel and become a super member, and that's how you get the invite. After you join on the main channel page, if you click the community tab, there will be a Discord link for you to get into the group, but it is invite only. But we'd love to have you there if you'd like to join. All right, Scott, thanks for hanging out. Won't be back till after weekend, moving my daughter to her dorm. Awesome. Enjoy that. And thanks for hanging out. We'll see you on Monday. Pass the wrench to Freezy. Freezy might get it. All right, y'all. I do have to run. It's been a good stream, about an hour, 30 minutes. So that's pretty good. A lot of questions answered, so I feel good about that. Hopefully, I was able to help you guys out. Reza, if you do join, thank you so much for the support, man. I know I'm about to wrap up stream and it might take you a minute, but I really appreciate anybody that joins. It is a small monthly fee, but honestly, you make one good trade, you should make that back 5x, and then you'll be like, oh, all right. So at least. So anyway, thanks, guys. Feel free to load up on questions that you may have for the next stream, and I'll definitely catch you guys there and be able to answer that. So I'm not adding any Doge to my scalping account yet, or my long account. I know you said anything under 30 is a good deal. Not yet. I do want to see how, and I'm not saying this is a recommendation, by the way. There's probably nothing wrong with being in Doge 28. I just want to see what's going to happen with this 50K level again. You're going to join? Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate that. I'll go ahead and get the link ready, and it'll be on that page for you. Once you join, it'll show, because it's going to be visible to members only. I want to see what's going to happen at 50K. I do have the prediction that we're going to top out here again and not really get much further, which means maybe we'll see a downtrend to the 200 EMA, which will get us a better dip buy for me to just buy in and then hold. So that means maybe instead of buying at Doge 29.30, we'll reject here at like Doge 30 and a half-ish, 31, and pull back to like Doge 26. I can just all in at Doge 26 and wait. I'm fine with Doge 26. Anywhere from 26 to 29, honestly, I don't care. But if we're playing this game and watching it every day, kind of why not? And yeah, there's a risk of a couple cents, but like I said, at the end of the day, price target is for Dogecoin to be way higher once Bitcoin gets up here. So it is a couple cents, but if I'm going to be trading it, I might as well try and trade it according to what I see. So that's kind of my idea. No problem, Josh. All right, guys, I'm going to run. Thank you, guys. Again, I'll have that link for you, Reza, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow in the next stream. Have a good